Warning: Channel Robozoid contains adult language, adult content, strong opinions, and verbal brutality. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, folks. It is I, the Robozoid, your semi-likable and occasionally tolerable curmudgeon of both the Rumble and YouTube airwaves. I have no tolerance for the DNC, and everybody should know that by now. And I just realized the echo is on too high. Forgive me, folks. But we do have to talk about this seriously because you've already got the Democrat primaries in full swing. And, of course, you've got in California, and you've got every single Democrat lined up, maybe a few Republicans, I'm sure, that are willing to challenge, let us say, Katy Portly in her bid to run for governor of California. Well, since Eric Swallowswell, or Eric Fartswell, whatever you want to call him, has been pretty much ousted because of his sex scandals. So, without further ado, what do you say we get right into this, because there is a lot to cover, and time is pretty short.
Homelessness, and what, if anything, would you do differently? You have 60 seconds.
Frank, I would say that the governor has made efforts. We've seen him come down to Los Angeles, actually go out and try to clean some of the streets. On effort, I would give him an A.
Can you corroborate this odd hypothesis?
Well, that was somebody named Eusebio Bizarra, if I said his name right. Honestly, I don't think anybody with a foreign-sounding name should be allowed to run for a political office in this country, i.e. Barack Obama or Moron Mum's Mummy, or let's say Zero Mandani, or let us say the other guys like Jihad Omar. This guy, I believe, used to be health inspector under the Biden regime, so who's surprised by that? And of course, what he's arguing for is just another fundamental transformation of America, which, by the way, did not work. And this guy's pushing it again. And I tell you, there's something really creepy about those eyebrows of his. Looks like a blind man is trying to give him a dirty Sanchez.
Should language proficiency for truckers be strictly enforced, even if it means that some of them will probably lose their jobs? You have 60 seconds.
Look, I agree with what was said, which is we don't know the context of this stop.
What if they're Polish, but they still know how to read English and even speak it? I know a trucker who does.
But what I can say is this: racial profiling is illegal. And in fact,
Fuck
picking
you.
on people based on the color of their skin in the state of California is...
Right. Then there's, of course, that whole bit about drivers, whether they be truck drivers or whether they be cab drivers. It's mandatory for them to learn English if they are going to live in this country. And they've got to learn how to read in English, meaning that they've got to learn how to read street signs. And apparently the Democrats don't seem to want them to do that. They don't really care, frankly. They don't really seem to be bothered if they don't learn English, and if they can't read the signs in English. Well, then you're not fit to be a truck driver or a cab driver in this country if you can't speak or read English. Case closed. But I guess that's not good enough for any of the Democrats. Certainly not for Mr. Bizarro there with the crazy eyebrows. Seriously, his eyebrows look like a blind man tried to give him a dirty Sanchez. But moving on, of course, to Katy Portly. Yep, old Katy Porker herself, who was basically chastised by the moderators, all because of some little thing that she actually did a little while ago. What was that? Oh yeah, berate a staff member while she's filming a promo. And of course, she's called to the carpet on that. Just take a look.
Ms. Porter, you've acknowledged that your interactions with an aide and with a reporter captured on videos which went viral were, in your words, a bad look, and that you could have done better. What have you done to address those concerns? And as a person who frequently speaks about being a parent on the campaign trail, what would you tell your own kids if they ever faced a boss like that? You have 60 seconds.
I apologized that day to that staffer 4 years ago.
And lastly, I'd like to call your attention to a legal immigrant who did it the right way, who studied to become an American citizen, who was born in England, worked hard to become a U.S. citizen, and he is one now. legally, and he's also running, likewise, for governor of California. That is Steve Hilton. And boy, did he have some choice things to say about politicians that have, and they all have skeletons in their closet. I mean, let's not deny that, of course. But, is it really a good idea to chastise all of them? I mean, let's face it, they never went after Swallowswell until now, so why start now? Why the hell didn't they do this with Bill Clinton? Why didn't they do this with any Democrat politician back then? So, yeah, let's hear from a real, honest-to-God legal immigrant, now American citizen, Steve Hilton here on what he has to say. Take a look.
Language proficiency should be strictly enforced for truck drivers. You have 60 seconds.
I would absolutely fight the Trump administration because the job of the California
Good luck,
governor
fatso.
is to protect Californians. And right now, that includes protecting them from Donald Trump.
You're
Protecting Californians
fat.
also includes enforcing traffic laws. And we've seen sometimes a need for oversight in California. For example, we have seen that the Department of Motor Vehicles was not enforcing rules around DUIs and drivers who had convictions for that. I am stunned that Mr. Bianco would say to Black and brown Californians and immigrants who are being terrorized and racially profiled that you have to get over racism. It's not something that you get over. It's something that you fight. And if he doesn't understand the importance of that, he has no business representing a state with the diversity of California.
Of the job he is doing. Are those Californians wrong? You have 60 seconds.
One of the proudest days of my life was the day I became an American citizen. It happened in a ceremony right here in San Francisco. So it is a deep honor for me to be endorsed by the President of the United States. And here's the thing that's going to help every Californian when I'm governor, is that we will have a constructive relationship and partnership with the federal government, which would be the case, I would hope, for any party in that situation, so that we can make things...
Sir, I like the way you think. I like your policies, but I just don't think if you weren't born in this country, you probably shouldn't run for an office here. No offense, of course.
It's better in California. Work with the president and his administration to manage our forests better, to harvest the timber so we can build the single-family homes we need for young families, to work to increase California energy production as he wants to do so we can lower gas prices, to fight the fraud in our government so we can cut spending and cut taxes, to work to enforce our immigration laws in all these areas and more. It will benefit every Californian to have a governor who is a partner.
Of course his time is up, you assholes. So, Steve Hilton, if I were a California citizen, which thank God I'm not, but if I were, you would get my vote, pal. Honestly, you'd get my vote, buddy, because this guy is talking common sense. Again, he is a legal immigrant. He did it the right way. He came from England, and, well, he worked hard, he studied hard to become a United States citizen, and he achieved it. And now he's running for governor of California. Will he succeed? Will he win? Probably not, because, well, 62% of Californians, honest to God, hate President Trump and hate the job he's doing, and Trump vouched for Hilton personally. So, it's not terribly likely that he's going to end up getting the vote in California, but nevertheless, if you had to choose at least one, you got to choose Steve Hilton, because while he is a British immigrant, he's an American citizen, and he's working hard, and he believes in this country. I mean, he knows the greatness of this country, and the Democrats don't even care about it. They think this country is not great. It never was great to begin with. So, use your common sense, Californians. Vote for this guy, or you can collapse into the sea for all anybody gives a shit, because you're not doing yourselves a service by voting for a Katy Portly, or certainly not that bizarro guy with the dirty Sanchez eyebrows. You're not doing yourselves a favor there. So be smart and vote, Californians. Please vote for Steve Hilton. That's all I got to say to you. This is not I'm not begging you. I am not pleading with you. I'm actually ordering you to do so. This has been the Robozoid. Be here or be absolutely nowhere else, just like the rest of those candidates.